Hello, my name is Kayla Dominguez. Welcome to my first discussion post for COM 505. Jumping into my presentation and answering the first question asked, a clear definition of the field of communication studies. I was able to get a broad definition from the text Theories of Human Communication by Littlejohn. Every aspect of our daily life is affected by communication because it is a useful medium. I was also able to understand that it is not just a vehicle for transferring info, but the process in which lives are created. And in 126 definitions of communication, the common aspect found in each definition was every single form of communication involves human experience because it is interactions between humans which allow us to create connection and maintain relationships in our daily life. Moving on to my second slide and answering the second question of this discussion, the purpose for communication theory, and pulling different ideas out from the text Theories of Human Communication. I was able to understand that theories are a broad explanation for how the process of communication works. This is because they are a generalized area of what has been studied and systematically discovered about communication. Theories are given to us to provide a bigger picture and a different way to think about communication. They help us rethink, reorder, and reprioritize while looking and studying communication. They are created to just give us a better understanding of different areas due to the framework developed by different scholars and offering us a deeper intellectual understanding. Theories are just a broad and organized set of concepts, explanations, and principles. Now moving on to our third slide in my presentation and the third question asked in this week's discussion, the importance of validity of communication theory in research. The area of communication is very broad. There are many theories and different academic opinions out there, so the validity of each theory is very important. A good example of validity and the necessity of validity in communication theory is looking at the linear theory. When first developed, there were only two sections to the linear theory, which was the sender and the receiver. But after Shannon Weaver looked at the theory and was able to understand that there was a deeper meaning and more context missing to a sender and a receiver, she added the MDR, which are a couple more steps added into the linear theory to give us more context while looking at it and have a better understanding of communication. This is a good example of validity in communication theory because there was something missing from the original theory, and she went in and added more context to give us a better understanding and be able to understand communication theory easier. In answering our fourth question, share how communication theory may contribute to a Christian worldview, perspective, and sharing the gospel with others. There are two theories that help when sharing the gospel with others that I wanted to touch on how communication theories help us share the gospel, as well as why tradition and context also goes in and plays with that. Ethical communication is a big one because with being a Christian and having those Christian values and morals, they do go in line with the same values and morals that ethical communication speaks about. The second one is relationship building because sharing the gospel does take a lot of time and energy, and when you have a relationship with the receiver, being the sender, it is more likely that the receiver will take what you're saying more in depth and kind of understand and have a better perspective on what you're sharing with them and not be so closed off to it. And then moving on to tradition and context, that's another important piece that I think we could take in because it is important to understand the setting that you're trying to share the gospel in, as well as the context. Out there, it's not easy to share the gospel, and sometimes people really don't want to hear it. So being able as a communicator to understand the context and the traditions that you're in with the person that you're trying to communicate this with, it is a heavy topic. So being able to understand you're in the right setting and communicating positively and understanding who you're communicating to and the more deeper aspects to that as well will hopefully allow the receiver to be a little more receptive to what you are sharing. And as a communicator, it gives us that upper hand while sharing the gospel to just know the conditions that you're trying to do it in, since it is something that us as communicators and Christians should be doing and tend to do on a daily basis.